Welcome back to another episode of the Fed Retirement Planning Show. This is your host, Cooper Mitchell, and today I'm going to talk about something that's specifically for you military members. Okay, so I have a lot of people on this channel that are both military and civilian, and I mostly talk to civilians because really that's kind of what my client base is and that's who I really deal with. But I do feel it's important to address some issues, and I've written an article on this exact topic. So if you'd like, go to the link in the bio below and you'll be able to find much more information on this topic, and it'll be much more helpful to you. So check that out. But what I'm going to talk about is 10 facts relating to the military's new retirement program. Okay, this is something I get asked on all the time. So I'm like, I need to do a video on it. So here we go. For those of you that aren't aware, on January 1st, 2018, there will be a new military program, okay, a new military retirement program. You can be grandfathered into the old one, but the new one is very similar to what happened in 1984 when Ronald Reagan switched over CSRS to FERS. And basically what it does is it put more responsibility on the investor, on the employee, than it did on the government. And that's what they're trying to do with the military, okay? They're taking away a majority of what your retirement is as a military member, your pension. They're lowering that and giving you the opportunity to invest more in the TSP by giving you a 5% match. And I talk about the 5% all the time for civilian employees, and I say that one of the biggest retirement mistakes people make is not investing that 5% to receive that match because it's free money. So I'm going to extend that to you military members. If you receive that match here in a year or so, if you don't invest in that, you're making one of the biggest retirement mistakes you can make because you're not receiving that free money that they're giving you. Okay, it's an automatic 100% rate of return. But there's some other things that go into it, and so I'm going to talk about the 10 facts. Okay, I've created 10 facts that are within this program. Fact 1: military members can now receive up to 5% matching contributions to their TSP. This is a big one. Okay, this is big. I mean, this is kind of the main benefit that you're receiving in exchange for a part of your pension. Okay, the TSP can be very beneficial for people. But it's beneficial for people who take advantage of it, who use the match, and also keep track of their investments. Okay, so if you haven't seen my other videos or any of my other articles, I'd suggest you do so because I deal with this topic a lot on creating an investment strategy, how to invest in the TSP, what funds to choose, all these different things. Okay, so you need to start doing that now so that when you receive that match, you'll be able to take advantage of it. So the second fact is 5% of base pay must be chosen ahead of time. Okay, and this is different from FERS employees or just people that worked in the civilian sector. The reason is because they can select to contribute 5% at any time, and then they'd receive that match automatically. Well, military members, if you don't select that 5% at the beginning of the year that you're going to basically receive it for the rest of the year, then you're going to receive less than 5% matching contributions. Okay, so you need to make sure you're aware of that. The third fact: matching contributions cannot go to the Roth TSP. Okay, this is the same as it is for civilian employees. They may contribute to the Roth, but the match that the government gives does not go to the Roth. It automatically goes to the traditional side. Okay, so if you're young, oftentimes I suggest looking at and seeing if the Roth TSP is better for you than the traditional TSP. Now, don't get it mixed up. The Roth TSP is not a Roth IRA. There's a lot of differences there. You need to check out my article and video on the subject between the differences between a Roth IRA and a Roth TSP. But that said, you just need to understand that your matching contributions will go to the traditional side. They will not go to the Roth side. Another benefit that's going to be made for military members that's made for civilian federal employees is that a 1% automatic contribution will be made to the TSP on behalf of the government. Okay, so you're automatically going to be receiving a 1% match whether you put money in or not from the government. Okay, so it's a good benefit. But that said, I wouldn't rely solely on that 1%. Take advantage of the match. Max it out to the 5%. If you want to do more, that's fine. But at least get that 5%. The fifth fact, and this is a big one, I think, is that the TSP can be transferred to an IRA after service. Okay, so you military members, if you don't, work the 20 years, which here's the thing, I did some research, only about 17% of military members reach their 20 years full of service to receive the full pension. Okay, so only 17%, that means 83% of you military members aren't even reaching the point to where you get a pension. So the ability to have a TSP, to have a match where you retire, you're still going to have some retirement from the federal government in which you can move to your own IRA and then manage on your own. That's a big benefit. Okay, so that's something I check out. Before you go into an IRA, you need to weigh your options and everything like that, because there are advantages to the TSP that IRAs don't have, such as low fees, but there are also many advantages that the IRA has that the TSP doesn't. That said, if you'd like to, you can leave it in the TSP for as long as you want. You're just not going to be able to make contributions to it. The sixth fact is the new military retirement plan will lower your pension. Okay, it'll lower pensions. This is one of the big downsides, and this is one of the reasons that people are a little upset, is because it will lower your pension. The ratio they use now is 2.5 times your yearly service to calculate the base pay that you're going to receive in retirement. Well, that 2.5 times, they're going to lower to 2 times. So basically, now, rather than receiving 50% of your base pay in retirement, you're going to receive about 40% of your base pay. Okay, and that's going forward. Okay, you can be grandfathered into the old program, but it's certainly something to be aware of. So if you decide to transfer over to the new program, you may be shooting yourself in the foot and not helping yourself. So that's something to figure out before you decide which program to choose. But for you new military members who are forced to take the new program, well, you're going to receive less if you work 20 years, but you do have the TSP and the match that's available. The seventh fact is military members have until December 31st of 2017 to choose which plan they want if they were hired after 2005. So if you have more than 12 years of service, you cannot choose the new plan. You have to stay on the old plan, which is probably best for you. But if you have less, you can choose which plan you want it to go on. You can choose the new one, or you can choose the old one. Now, the election period extends from January 1st to December 31st of 2017, okay? And that's the current year, okay? So, if you haven't chosen yet, you need to make a choice, but do your due diligence in choosing. Now, the eighth fact is there are a couple exceptions to which plan you can choose, okay? So there's a couple loopholes here that you can select. And the main one is if you exit the military and decide to rejoin after 2017, you're going to have 30 days to select either plan at the time of returning to military duty. Okay, so you're going to be able to, if you leave, you're going to be able to have 30 days to decide which program you want to be on. There's a few more loopholes, and they're, in reality pretty detailed. So if you go over to the website, you can check them out. There's more than I think is, really needs to be detailed in this video. The ninth fact is that you can choose the old plan if you join service before December 31st of 2017. So that's yours. So you've got a little bit time left. If you join service, you can stay on the old plan if you'd like. Okay. Now, when people moved from CSRS to FERS in civilian federal service, there's a lot. I've met with people who absolutely love CSRS and met with people who absolutely love FERS. Okay, I think the big advantage is if you are somebody who is going to take advantage of the TSP, take advantage of the match, and will be studious in your investing, the TSP and the new retirement system can be very beneficial to you. And that segues directly into the 10th fact, and that is, there really isn't one system that's quote-unquote better than the other, okay? It's not like the old system just absolutely slays the new system, or the new system is a super big improvement on the old system. That's not how it is, okay? So like I said, it depends on who you are and what kind of investing you're going to do and how studious you're going to be about your retirement, okay? All of you, I suggest to have some sort of financial plan, whether that's one you put together on your own, whether that's one you've used a financial planner like myself to help you with, but you need to have a plan, okay? Whether you choose the old system or the new system, I'm telling you, it will be very beneficial to you, okay? But this has been Cooper with FedRetirementPlanning.com. Let me know any questions you have in the comments below. I love answering your comments and your questions, and keep watching because we have a lot more info coming.
I can do this all day, I can do this all night.